Hi, everyone. Kaylie Shapiro here, joined by my co-host Nick Zito on the Right or Wrong podcast here on NYRA. And this time it's the Breeders Cup edition on Right or Wrong. Obviously, really happy to be joined by my co-host Nick Zito, who has lots of experience in Breeders Cup races and is joining us from the Hall of Fame today. Nick, how are you doing?
Doing okay, Kaylee. Thank you.
How excited are you for the Breeders' Cup, Nick, on a scale of 1 to 10?
Pretty good. I would say 9.5 because I
Nine and
haven't
a
seen
half.
many. I haven't seen many classics like this. I haven't seen a card like this in a long time, especially the classic. My God, that's tremendous.
It's a
Tremendous.
loaded field. I cannot wait to get into it with you. But first, we're going to go down memory road a little bit and watch a couple of your Breeders' Cup wins. I would love to start off just by knowing what's your favorite part about the Breeders' Cup. Obviously, it's a lot of fun. Horses from all over the world come, trainers from all over the world, which makes it really exciting. But what's your favorite part about the Breeders' Cup, maybe throughout your time in participating in it?
Well, I think for the average fan, obviously I'm a Triple Crown guy. I was blessed to be in the Triple Crown a lot of times. And, watch it on television. You watch the Derby as a kid and the Preakness and the Belmont, and it gets in your blood. But the Breeders' Cup is an interesting thing because you have the best horses, as you pointed out, all over the world on 2 days. Now it's 2 days, and it's just incredible. And then you lead up that crescendo, as they call it, leads up to those big races, and it's packed. Those couple of days are just packed, and the purses are unbelievable, and the excitement's unbelievable, and the Breeders' Cup has become an amazing thing. I remember when it started and the forefathers that put that together, John Gaines, John NYRA, and whoever else was involved. Don't forgive me if I'm leaving you out, but they were smart men and got it to a level that's beyond belief.
I was so excited to get to take the chance to go down and do some research on your Breeders' Cup history. Obviously, dug up those 2 wins of yours, one in the Juvenile Fillies and one in the Juvenile. We'll start with Storm Song, 1-2 with Love That Jazz that day. Really cool to see. We're going to take a look at it right
outside.
here.
Sharp catching up today in the field, turns for home. It's Love That Jazz trying to hold off the oncoming Storm Song, and Storm Song takes the lead and runs away from Love That Jazz and all the rest. Critical Factor is third. It's going to be Storm Song in a championship performance. Totally outclassed them today. She wins by 4.5 lengths. Love That Jazz was second, and Long Shot Critical Factor winds up third. Greg correct with infectious hat.
Mr. Farish bred that horse. I was happy for him. Farish family were great to Nick Zito his whole life. So in racing, they were terrific to me. So that was a special day for me. And the horse that ran second was great too. That was
Definitely.
fantastic.
How is it to have 2 horses in the same field for the Breeders' Cup? Just what was your strategy maybe going into that race with those 2 fillies?
Well, I knew Love That Jazz was fast, and I knew Storm Song would probably, be in the middle of the pack somewhere. So we were sitting pretty from day one. I told Mr. Cohen to Love That Jazz. I said, look, don't worry. I said, your horse is going to run her tail off, and she did.
We can go to the next one. You have Warpass in 2007. I mean, Warpass just completely swept up the field. He killed them that day.
Today, it's a 2-horse race. Warpass is well clear, but Pyro's got dead aim and he's closing steadily in the center. Let's see, can Warpass find more? He certainly can. And Warpass well clear. Pyro running a game 1 from second, but Warpass, the champion Breeders 2-year-old, as he wins this one. Wow! Warpass wins it clear. Pyro was again second. A long way back to Kodiak Cowboy in the 3rd spot, and Tail of Akati, never really a factor, did finish 4th in the end.
Zito and Bobo Penta.
Pretty cool, Nick. Warpass, really exciting replay to watch. Were you expecting that type of performance that day from that horse? He really ran off the screen.
He's an exceptional horse. And of course, again, let's give Saratoga its due. We worked him up here. And that was tremendous. I was expecting a little bit, naturally when they win that far, that's pretty tremendous. It was great. And you know what, too? It's funny. My Breeders' Cups wins, they came from Canada, which is Woodbine, Monmouth Park, which is New Jersey. And guess what? there hasn't been a Breeders' Cup there since. Did I jinx the tracks? I don't know.
Oh
But
my,
I
yeah.
hope I didn't jinx them.
Yeah, I hope not too. But
Oh,
speaking of the
Canada.
win,
I mean, the Blue Jays are in the World Series now, but oh, Canada won't like me if that happens.
and obviously so fun to watch those wins. And, you
Yeah.
know, obviously that comes with some tough beats in the Breeders' Cup. You ran a
Oh,
lot of
God.
horses there. And I
Yep.
mean, I'm going to start with Mr. Greeley in the sprint in 1995. We can take a
Yeah.
look at this beat. Nick finishing in second with Mr.
Second,
Greeley.
Desert Stormer running the race of her life today. Down inside, Desert Stormer, Mr. Greeley, headlong into the final furlong. Beaver Golf Rose is running third. Here comes Not Surprising, putting his late bid on the outside. Leader Justice coming with giant strides down the center of the track. Desert Stormer digging down deep, turning back the challenge of Mr. Greeley. Here's the line. Desert Stormer, a shocker to win it here by a head over Mr. Greeley. Leader Justice was closing fast, but no better than third today, and the final time was 1.
His whip, he would twirl his whip, Kaylie, and Mr. Greeley's head would go like this, you know, up and down, up and down. And I think that's why he stayed that way. But he ran great. We bought him too out of the sale, Mr. Greeley. So that would have been great too. But he was a tremendous sire, Mr. Greeley. Tremendous.
I was going to say he turned into some sire.
Oh my God. He went to Europe. It was unbelievable. And even the Coolmore boys loved him, you know, wanted to buy shares in him, et cetera, et cetera. And you know them, when they want to buy something, last time I looked, I think Sierra Leone is going home to them. I think Fierceness is going home to them. And I also believe Journalist, when he's done, is going to go home to them. So they got a pretty good eye for a horse, and that was Mr. Greeley they loved.
Next two beats that I'm going to show took place in the same year. I mean, if I was you, you know, good thing you won with Storm Song in 1996, but then two of your worst beats came in the same year. That to me was interesting. I mean, first we're going to start with Acceptable.
But here comes Acceptable trying to mow him down with a furlong to go. On the inside, it's Cash Deposit. It is Boston Harbor tenaciously trying to fight off Acceptable as they come down to the line. Boston Harbor digs down deep, and yes, he would not be denied a championship. It is Boston Harbor the winner.
Tough beat. That was a homebred, wonderful horse. And the great Wayne Lucas beat me again. But we're going to show something anyway pretty soon. Might get a little even. But Wayne, that was W.T. Young's horse, you know, Boston Harbor. And that was a tough beat. You're right.
I love Louis Couture's through, you know, our conversations. He's become one of my favorite horses that you trained. And this was him getting beat in the Classic, finishing second. But this race, Alphabet Soup won. He was 20-1 that year. Louis Couture's finishing second, beating the heavy favorite Cigar. So this is definitely a really interesting.
This is coming away with the narrow lead. Cigar trying to get him as they reach the top of the stretch. Louis Couture's and Alphabet Soup fighting ungainly. Montsassafras clinging desperately to the lead. Alphabet Soup in with an upset chance. Cigar, the heart of it champion, trying to get him. It's Alphabet Soup. Cigar on the outside. Louis Couture's Alphabet Soup has scored a shocking upset. Cigar has been denied another victory in the Breeders'
Horse, but I'm leaning on journalism. I'll tell you why. Preakness horses, and the Preakness gets a bad rap still about, you know, 2 weeks, this and that. But look how great Louis ran in the Breeders' Cup Classic after winning the Preakness. That was pretty cool.
That is really cool. And Louis Couture's, I mean, what a heart that horse has. He was in a tough spot, don't you think, between all those horses? I mean, he showed a lot of heart getting through there and just lost by a nose, it looked like. That was definitely a tough beat. Beating Cigar, though, that's pretty cool. And then the last one we're going to show is Morning Line in the Dirt Mile in 2010. This is probably the worst one, right?
It is. Tough.
Yeah.
And that was a stable. You're not going to believe it. I'll lead you into this line. I'll be you know, I got co-producers here, whether you know it or not. I got the quarter pole people here. I got James and Mary Lou, or Mary Lou and James, however it goes. But they're helping me with this. But you know what, Kaylie? That was a stable called the Legends, which comprised of Wayne Lucas, Bob Baffert and Nick Zito. That was the Legend Stable morning line. And those are your three favorite trainers, I think, correct?
Yeah,
Growing up?
definitely. My three favorites growing up and still to this day, I'd say. So,
Thank you for that.
Nick, it was really cool to watch all those replays with you. But now, I mean, the people are dying to know. I'm dying to know your
Shoot.
thoughts on the Classic. Gonna
Yep.
add these horses right here. Take a look at the field. We have some horses coming out locked, scratched out of the race. And then we have, a field of 10 horses now. And we have the presence of contrary thinking, a rabbit in the race, which has sparked some debate online. And
Yep.
I would love to know your opinion. Obviously, back in the day, lots of trainers are famous for using rabbits, such as the Coach. You can name a few others. I want to know your opinion on contrary thinking being entered in the Breeders' Cup Classic as a rabbit, so to speak, for Sierra Leone. It's not confirmed 100% if he's going to go. I'd imagine in my mind it's like 50-50 if he even goes in the gate, but I really want to know your thoughts on the situation in general.
Well, I think first and foremost, he has to run straight. As long as it's within the rules, a rabbit's in the rules. I mean, I'm picking Fierceness for the Classic, and I'll tell you my second horse in a minute. Getting back to your point of, it has to be addressed sincerely. One thing about our business, sometimes it's too apologetic. I don't want to be apologetic here. Am I fans of, the people that own Sierra Leone? Absolutely, positively. Am I fans of Mike Rapoli? 1,000%. But I think I'm saying this sincerely. Better run straight. That's all. Let them run straight, and then we'll go from there. It's in the rules. They want to run a rabbit. Incredible horses. Believe me, I'm telling you. Imagine those two horses running in the Classic, Sierra Leone and Fierceness. And, where do we get to, to the rest of them? It's unbelievable. So I just want them, I just want whoever's on that horse to understand. You go as fast as you want, you do what you got to do, but you run straight. That's all. That's a fair question, yes or no? Right or wrong?
Yeah,
Is that right or wrong?
Right,
Is it fair?
100%. Obviously
Right.
interested to see how they all draw, the post position draws tomorrow. So
That's right. That's
kind
a
of,
big thing. That's a big
yep.
thing too. The draw's a big thing. I always used to tell people, they didn't believe that. I said, sometimes, post position is the whole race. And you'd say, oh, what do you mean? No, 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 no. Sometimes it's luck of the draw. Someone will get a nice post, breaks away clearly, gets away from the gate nice. There's no problem. Rabbit or no problem. Then he'll draw a bad post. You got a rabbit. Next thing you know, the jocks check in. He's this, he's that. Racing's complicated sometimes. And look at for whatever reason it is, every day this week, let's pray to God, but you're going to see a scratch. You told me already there's a scratch, right? Lock is scratch. You're going to see scratches every day. That's the way the game is.
Definitely. And just to group these horses, I kind of want to start with the older horses. So
Yeah.
starting probably with, Fierceness, Sierra Leone, two horses that you're very familiar with. And I know you prefer Fierceness out of the two.
Yeah.
In this spot for sure. What are your thoughts on Forever Young, the Japanese horse? This horse has come over to the United States a
I'm
couple of
laughing.
times.
You know
and has
why?
never won poorly.
I'm laughing? Guess what? All of a sudden, these guys play for real. The Japanese horses used to come over, and people used to go scratch them. We ain't gonna do nothing. Now, holy God, the Japanese are like that pitcher last night for the Dodgers. Went the whole game. It went 9 innings. That pitcher. These Japanese, they play for real. These horses are good. So you gotta, even if you don't. I mean, I don't think that horse is in the same whatever as those two. But he gave. He ran a tremendous race in the Kentucky Derby, correct?
Yeah, he did. And even in the Classic last year, I think he finished
Yeah,
third.
he did.
He ran pretty well there, but
They good.
the field is way deeper this year. Wouldn't you agree?
It's just, that's why I told you. I mean, that's why,
Yeah.
to me, it's definitely one of the best I've ever seen, by far. I mean, it's up there with the great ones.
Definitely. And now to just touch on the 3-year-olds, I mean, this is a big question. These horses are going to be facing older. Journalism already faced older horses and finished second to Fierceness. Fierceness beat him that day, but journalism has jockey change now to Jose Ortiz, and then you have Baeza as well.
Yep.
And then you also have Sovereignty, who's facing Older for the first time ever. The one horse in here that's really interesting, and would you agree with this, is Nevada Beach, for the fact that he already beat older horses. He's a 3-year-old. You know, he's lightly raced. Last time out in the Goodwood, he put away Full Serrano. Full Serrano won the Dirt Mile last year. I mean, he beat a pretty good horse that day. Nevada Beach is pretty interesting to me. And then obviously the big horse, Sovereignty. So excited to see him. He's my top pick here, but I know that you're looking elsewhere and you're hoping maybe journalism could turn the tables on Sovereignty.
Well,
what are your thoughts on that?
Well, here's my thoughts. First of all, you're a great handicapper. You do your homework, and you know one thing: don't ever leave Baffert out. So that's a good play right there. So, and I'll tell you another thing about Nevada Beach. Is he by Omaha Beach?
He is.
You talk about the sales. He purchased a couple of RNAs this year, so let's see what happens. But I will say this: it's a good choice for a lot of reasons. But let me tell the folks out there real quick why I like journalism. So Sovereignty beat journalism twice. The Kentucky Derby, fair and square, and the Travis, fair and square. Both times, the Kentucky Derby was slop. And if you look at the Travis, the guy did a great job, but the track was still wet. Now Sovereignty has to meet journalism. Mike McCarthy, who I love, great guy, rooting for you. You can't help but root for Mike. Is training that horse out there in his home turf. Bill's got to ship the horse out like everybody else. Okay, everybody's going to California. But I think the track's going to be dry. And you saw how journalism ran with Fierceness. So, you know, he ran incredible. And Fierceness, believe me, I watch him train. I'm fortunate to be in Saratoga and watch these horses train, and he's a monster. He's a freaking monster. So is Sovereignty. But I think journalism is going to get ahead of Sovereignty this time. I don't know if he could get ahead of Fierceness or Sierra Leone, but I think he's going to beat Sovereignty this time. We'll see if I'm right. You got to you got to take a stand, man. You got to take a stand.
My stand is I really think Sovereignty is going to leave them all in the dust. That's my stance, but I really do. I like the idea of journalism improving with the new jockey. I mean, I've seen him on a fast track in California, and granted, you know, journalism was kind of taken out of the race early. I mean, he was not placed or involved in the race early on whatsoever. He was kind of trailing at the back of the field, and that's not the position you'd really want on a speed track in California, small field chasing Fierceness. So granted, maybe he gets a better ride and gives him a better shot, and you think Jose Ortiz is the guy to get the job done, right?
Well, there was a great trainer, Hall of Fame trainer, one of the best ever, owned and bred horses, Hirsch Jacobs, at Champions River. He loved when a trainer would make a change, taking a jockey off, because he said it never worked. Now, that's basically true a lot of times. However, in this case, the way Jose rides, and this horse makes that move, it could actually, he could do it, because he's, Jose's a great young rider, et cetera, et cetera. Rispoli did a great job on the horse, but like everything else, they thought, a change, they make a change. Now, most of the times it doesn't work, but this time I just think on a dry it's he's got the edge. Believe it or not, I think he's got an edge on the dry track. But I know you were, look, let's go tell the folks one thing. Kaylie Shapiro told me, I did an interview for the Remsen, one of my favorite 2-year-old races, and you said Sovereignty from day one as a 2-year-old was your horse. And give you your due. You were right.
No, thank you.
No, I don't think you're going to be right this time. I think journalists is going to beat him. We'll see. But go ahead.
We'll agree to disagree. But I'm just kidding. Obviously, you saying that kind of scares me, because I value your opinion and horses. So if you believe this jockey change is going to make a difference, I mean, that to me is making me open my mind up a little bit at the least. But I definitely think Sovereignty is the horse to beat here. He should be the favorite coming into this race. He has the highest buyer speed figure of any horse this year, a 115 in the Travers. And if he improves just a little bit off of that, it's going to be pretty tough for any of these horses to step up to that level, don't you think?
Yeah, but you know what? Like everything else, you got to go around the racetracks, and that's why, every race is different. Great horses get beat. The old saying, Secretarian gets beat, this guy gets beat. Sovereignty is a great horse. Mott has done an unbelievable job with the horse. I think things will be different this time. That's just my opinion, and you have to take a stand. I'm taking a stand, and listen. You know why the Breeders' Cup is so great? Think about
Mm-hmm.
this. The horse I'm picking, if you can believe it, won the Preakness, ran second to Fierceness, and he's 15-1. Go ahead.
Nick, what's your opinion on Baeza? Because we're talking about all the 3-year-olds and where they stack up. Obviously, Sovereignty, Journalism, and Nevada Beach, I'd imagine, are your top 3-year-olds out of here. But Baeza's also here. Me and you watched him win the Pennsylvania Derby together that day we were at Churchill. We were really happy he got the win. He was our pick that day. But what do you think after watching him in the Pennsylvania Derby? He shipped back to California. Do you think that this horse has any shot?
He's got a little shot because he chased Sovereignty and he chased Journalism. John Sheriff is a great trainer. That's why I say we didn't even mention him. And think about what I just said to the folks out there. I mean, think about what I just said to everybody out there. Here's a horse what's his odds? 20-1 or
It's going to
15?
be something. It has to be something like that. The odds aren't out yet. I'd imagine they come out tomorrow. So I'm going to be really eager to see those. But yeah, it's a loaded field. And just another question about the Classic, maybe just the way that you see the race playing out. So you love Fierceness here. He's a horse that obviously has tremendous speed, and when he's on, he's
an amazing horse.
Yeah,
and
he's an amazing horse.
You know why I'm partial to him? The folks goes like, geez, that one guy said, Nick, I really like you because these stories are true. I said, yeah, they're true. I'll give you a story about Fierceness. His granddad, his grandfather is Stay Thirsty. So Nick Zito purchased Stay Thirsty, signed agent for Bob LaPenta. Stay Thirsty. That's why Mike and I are always going to be close. So I bought him as a yearling. Mike bought him a 2-year-old in training for $500,000. I raised my hand, if you could believe it. I raised my hand for $500,000. That's how much I love Stay Thirsty. Boy, this is for me, this is enjoyment because it's like going to a rock concert and you got you got the great bands, you got the number one band, and then you got like the sidekicks, which are just as good.
Opening acts.
Yeah, which is really cool. So I love that.
It's true. But Fierceness really well, right? Obviously a horse with great speed. You think he goes for the lead, or do you think a horse now with the rabbit here, contrary thinking, and then you also have Bob Baffert sending Nevada Beach, who has amazing speed. How do you see this race playing out?
Well,
without post positions.
Yeah. I wouldn't use the rabbit because I know Bobby B. That horse is, so I wouldn't even use one. But the moral of the story is, okay, as long as the rabbit runs straight, I think Fierceness will be in his garden hole. And I just hope I hope he gets a good post. And I hope he's, has a chance. The main thing you want is all these great horses. And that don't always happens. But let's hope they all have a chance to win. Mm-hmm. That's wish list. Just make the best horses have a chance to win. That's all. Make this a tremendous classic, which it is on paper.
It is. So right now you think your exacta is looking like probably Fierceness Journalism.
Yeah, I look at that, but like everything else, it's funny, like if that horse you mentioned, Bob Baffert's horse, you never know. Right now those are two for sure.
It's gonna be really interesting. And Nick, your exact is a little bit different than mine. I'm going, Sovereignty, Sierra Leone, and definitely gonna play a little with Mindframe and Nevada Beach under those two. I really think that Mindframe and Nevada Beach are really like the two X factors in this race. So it's gonna be really cool. You have to take a shot. You're gonna get really good prices on some of these horses, and can't wait to see all of them run.
God, are you really?
Really want to hear your opinions on the distaff racing, but Torpedo Anna, she won the distaff last year, which really opens up this field a ton. There's no Torpedo Anna. It's going to be pretty wide open race, and you have a lot of improving horses in here. For example, Nitrogen is a horse that I really like. We watched her win the Alabama up in Saratoga. Really nice filly. And then I thought she ran really well at Keeneland, honestly, that day against Torpedo Anna, running second to Jinjin there. Yeah. Who are the names that you automatically go to when you're looking at this field?
You mentioned the horse that I like. Just ran great. I think he's got a really good chance, but there's tough fillies. Torpedo Anna was the champion and great filly, but these are wonderful horses. So I like your horse. I'm going with you.
Nitrogen. And then Baffert has Seismic Beauty as well going, and she's a little interesting as well. What do you think about her?
Again, be careful. The guy's in California. He's in California, and he has a habit of doing these things.
I didn't know this, Nick. Bill Mott has the most wins in the distaff. He won 5 times, and he has Scylla in the race this year. Little interesting. We saw her, Scylla to me is just a horse that hasn't been able to get into the winner's circle for a really long time. You would look at her form and think she's not really in the best of form. Do you think that a horse like that coming into this race could still be dangerous? For example, you're looking at a trainer that, has won the distaff the most amount of times, but he has a filly that's not in the best of form. What do you really do with that? What do you think?
You put him in because Bill Mott's training him, and what happens is sometimes they get good on that day. And that's the day you're talking about, a big day. And he could just be having that filly, believe it or not, she just could be like they say, in the backwoods there hanging out, and all of a sudden for this type of race, she fires. So I put him in, but I still like your horse. But I would put this horse in, in the gimmicks.
Yeah.
Remember,
I hope you get a good price on Nitrogen. I think she has a really good shot, honestly. She's an improving filly. Cool filly, too.
The Breeders' Cup races are the best to bet. You get value. You can make exactas, and you get just ones that you say. You listen to Kaylie, what she's saying today, you listen to me a little bit, and you just bet those exactas. Bill Mott throw them in with the horses that we like. The Baffert horse and the horse that won the Nitrogen, I think you're in good shape.
Definitely. Now we're going to look at the Dirt Mile.
My favorite race.
It's your favorite?
Yeah, I like the Dirt Mile. I like it. Who do you like?
Nysos, that's just the obvious answer. That horse is going to be really tough. And I was watching him train, I think yesterday on the morning show that they do, and he looked incredible. And I know that there was some soundness concerns. He went to the bench for a little bit. He looked like the picture of soundness to me working out on the track the other day. He was moving beautifully. He's really scary, I'd say. I think he's going to be probably the shortest price of anyone here. But you have Full Serrano, who's, defending his title. He won it last year. A little bit interesting. White Abario is a horse that I always like. And you also have Citizen Bull for Bob Baffert. So Baffert has, I think, 3 in here. I'd imagine that he's going to be pretty dangerous in this spot.
You sure you don't want to interview him on Wednesday instead of Thursday? Because he's got a lot going on, but I'm glad you're going to interview him. But I like the horse that you mentioned first. That's an amazing horse. Amazing horse.
Yeah. And Chancer McPatrick is a little interesting just because of the fact that he excels, with some pace to run into. And seems like this mile distance is perfect for him. So he's a little interesting too, and he's going to get pace to run into. And I hate to say it, I know, Mystic Dan might be the biggest price, one of the best horses in here. That's the ridiculous price. Obviously, he's in deep, but this horse finds a way to run into things and even win races against really good horses. Obviously, the Derby winner we're talking about. He's an interesting horse that I think will be a massive price.
I couldn't agree with you more. How you like that? I like those. And I'll tell you why. It's exactly what you said. They run into races. They'll have speed. He's always on the bridle. Somehow he'll wind up on the fence, whatever. See him on the fence, and they gang up, and someone goes with who, or something crazy fast out there. You never know, but he's a horse that could be in the gimmicks. Of course, that big horse that Baffert's got, that's the real deal. That horse.
He is the real deal. I can't wait, to go see him and
He's the
how he
real.
looks out on the track. I mean, he's an impressive horse, and there was obviously lots of talk. Maybe he would have went to the Classic for a bit, but I'm happy he's in the mile because I really think that he's a standout in this field. So
He's tremendous.
have you taken a look at the juvenile or the juvenile fillies? Baffert has a ton that I'm really interested in, and your friend Danny has Iron Orchard in the juvenile fillies. Danny Gargan, who just got purchased under new ownership group.
I was with Danny with night. We actually went to Chianti's, if you could believe it. And Danny said, "Come on, I want you to come," whatever it was, and we were talking. So that was a pretty cool day for him. It really was to have that to get that horse to sell that for that amazing price and get to keep that filly. That's pretty good stuff. That was really cool.
Yeah.
So I was happy for Danny and beautiful filly. Don't forget, you win the Frisette, right? Storm Song won the Frisette. So, there's the same deal.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah.
Definitely. She's a big player for me. And certainly after, Tommy Joe won that race, Tommy Joe got put up. To me, I was a big fan of Tommy Joe. I really liked her. I still like her. I don't think she's out of the picture here, but I don't think she's your winner. Just seeing how Percy's Bar beat her at Keeneland. I mean, I really think the race either goes through Baffert, and I also really like Danny's filly as well. But going on to the boys, the juvenile, do you think that Ted Noffey is a walkover? A lot of people think so, and he's going to be a pretty short price, I'd imagine. Or do you have your eye on some others?
I saw Ted Noffey himself. I saw him at the sale recently, and I said to Ted, I was with Kaylie the hopeful day, and I said, I don't know how the hell we both were talking about it. You remember we were with Tom Carney and everybody, and I said, how the heck could this horse be 7-2?
Yeah.
What am I missing here? And me, like an idiot, just froze. Ned Coffee wins, pays $9, but you'll never get $9. Now, you may get $5 maybe in the Breeders' Cup, but no, he's definitely my pick. And of course, Baffert, whatever Baffert's got, you gotta look at that, but he's my pick.
Baffert has a few. The more I think about it, I took a look. I mean, I want everyone to remember this name because this horse really stood out to me at Keeneland. Ran second to Ted Noffey that day. Butane, Baffert's horse. He's really impressive. He's built like a bullet. He's a little interesting to me coming into this. Broke his maiden on debut at Del Mar, so he has a win over the track. And then he was shipped out to Keeneland and ran second to Ted Noffey. He impressed me a lot. I think that he should be a main player in there, but Baffert does have the record for the most wins in the juvenile with the boys, so pretty interesting. And I do love Ted Noffey too, so it's going to be a really good race, and I'm really happy that everyone got to hear your insights on everything. Really valuable. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you for everything, Kaylie, and have a good time out in California. And tell my friend Bob Baffert I'm sorry, but next year I believe it's at Keeneland. And you know what? Don't name it. They haven't had a prediction in a long time, but I don't know if we'll win. But I guarantee you we'll be in the Breeders' Cup next year with something.
We will be. We're manifesting it. It's definitely very possible. And Keeneland, I love when they have the Breeders' Cup. It's like my favorite track that they host. And then we get it the year after at Belmont Park. So that's going to be so much fun. Can't wait for that.
Bro, I like that.
Nick,
Cool.
who are you most excited to see at the Breeders' Cup? What horse?
Oh, definitely Fierceness. Definitely. He's a monster. But they're all, listen, in that race there, that's who's who. I told you, that's like a famous concert where, whoever I'm leaving out plays and the understudy is this and the understudy is that. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're in the Hall of Fame, This is the
Yes.
Hall. So just remember, still hollow ground. So God bless everybody and thank you. Thank you, Kaylie.
Thank you. On to the Breeders' Cup. Can't wait.